Okay, today we're going to do some more problems where we're calculating our wages and our overtime. What we're going to do is go through a few examples. I think we are going to do a couple, and I will help you set up a couple other ones. First one, we're going to show what we put in the calculator. I'm going to write that. That's going to be the little equation, expression looking thing. Kylie works at Saltgrass Steakhouse for $9.25 an hour. If she works 40 hours a week, and that 40 hours is very important, that's what a work week is. How much will she get paid? Well, what we're going to put in the calculator is my 40 hours times my $9.25 an hour. My calculator, 40 times 9.25, and these numbers can be reversed, so if you do it 9.25 times 40, it's the same thing. $370. So a regular work week for her means that she is making $370. Now, what is her overtime rate of pay? Her overtime rate of pay is time and a half. So we're going to do our rate of pay, which is $9.25, and we're going to multiply that by 1.5. Your overtime is 1.5 times what you make. So in the calculator we put 9.25, and we're going to multiply it by 1.5. So in overtime they're going to make $13.88. I round that to the nearest cent. How much would she make for working 5 hours of overtime? So for 5 hours of overtime, we would do that number times our 5 hours. So 3.88 times 5, and press enter. We would make $69.38. What would her total paycheck for 45 hours be? Well, we're going to add those two for that one. So take the number we have now plus 370. She would make $439.38. There's another way we could do this. Instead of doing all these steps, we could do it all at once. We know that the first 40 is going to be 370. So we can take that 370, and then we're going to add. And in our parentheses, we're going to do this math right here. So we're going to do, we're going to do the 370 here, and then we're going to do all this math together. These two steps we can do in one step together. We're going to take our 9.25 times 1.5. We do those in parentheses, and then multiply it by our number of hours we work. There's that 69.38. So we're going to add that 69.38, which is the same thing we did here, but we combine these two steps together. I would like to set up number 2, just so we know we're working on the same page. On number 2, it says Jennifer earns her living as an administrative assistant. Her hourly wage is $15.25 per hour. Due to the increase in her workload, she has worked a total of 65 hours this week. How much could she expect in this week's pay? Well, the first 40 is going to have to be multiplied by 1,525. That's her regular pay. Her overtime pay needs to be $15.25 times 1.5, and then we're going to multiply that by how many overtime hours. The overtime hours are when we subtract 40 from 65. 65 minus 40 is 25. There's your setup. When you're done, you're going to add those up. If you flip over to the back of this page, I want to show us number 6. Number 6 says that this guy works at a hospital as a pediatric nurse, or she earns $32.45 per hour. If she works 45 hours the first week, so the first week she's working 45 hours, the second week she's working 38, the third week she's working 42.5, and the fourth week she's working 40 hours. We're going to have to find her total pay for that month, that 4-week period. So let's first look at the first one. We want to do our regular pay, and then we're going to look at our overtime pay, and we'll add those up. My regular pay is 40 times 32.45. On this one, this is going to be the oddball. We did not reach 40 hours. Since we did not reach 40 hours, we're going to do 38 times 45. 40 times 32.45. 40 times 32.45. Let's check those in the calculator. 40 times 32.45. This is going to be $12.98, which means all of these are $12.98. The second one we're showing works 38. We're going to change this to 38. Going to make $12.33 and 10 cents. And we're adding these up in a second. Overtime. How many overtime hours when she works 45? That's 5 overtime hours. 0 for this one. 2.5 for third week. And 0 again for week number 4. She just hits 40. So the only ones we need to do are the first and the third weeks. My overtime pay is $32.45 times 1.5. This one is 2.5 times 32.45 times 1.5. Let's go ahead and put that in the calculator, see what happens. Let's do the bottom one first. 2.5 times 32.45 times 1.5, close those parentheses, $121, and let's call that 69 cents. Then we're going to go up here. We need 5 hours, so we're going to change it 2.5 to 5. 243.38. Last step, we are going to add all these 6 numbers up. 1298 plus 1233.10 plus 1298 plus 1298 plus 243.38 and plus 121.69. Press enter. Paycheck for that month would be about 5,492.17. $5,492.17. This one had a lot of little steps in it. If you want to calculate your pay and you're working hourly and you get overtime, to know how much you should get paid, to make sure that you're not getting underpaid, you need to understand how this works. First one was normal. We had 45 hours, which means 40 regular hours, 5 overtime. Week 2, we didn't work a lot. We didn't even hit our normal work week. 43, worked 2.5 over. And week 4, we worked exactly 40 hours, no overtime. When there is overtime, we have to add that overtime in separately and calculate it separately because it has a different rate. finish until question 10 on this page.